How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about two cards I'm going to be sending to PSA in order to get graded. PSA is taking submissions of different levels. There's the economy level, this is a regular, and then there's anything higher above that. We're only going to be talking about the economy and regular submissions right now. If you don't know, PSA has opened up economy submissions again. In order to get this economy pricing, which is $50 a card, the card needs to be up to a value of $1,000, but you have to be part of the PSA Collectors Club. And with the PSA membership, it will only allow you to submit the economy cards at a very specific time. So you have to wait for these certain time periods in order to submit your economy cards. And I believe the turnaround time is about 3 months. What I'm going to be doing is regular submission, which is $100, which is down from $150, which was like I think a couple months ago. And this is for cards valued up to $1,500. The price doesn't really matter. I'm just going to be talking about the submission price because that's all I really care about. I don't have the PSA Collectors Club just because with the $50 discount and membership, I don't send that many cards to PSA, so it just doesn't make sense for me to do it, and also have to wait certain times in order to submit these cards. It just doesn't make sense for me. I don't submit that many cards to PSA. I actually don't buy cards in order to get graded just because of the expensive cost of grading cards right now. I just don't see any value. As you can see in other people and other people's videos, grading and submission is definitely a way to go in order to make margins, but just for me and my business purposes, I just stay away from it at the current pricing right now. Maybe I'll revisit looking into reinvesting on cards in order to get graded in the future, but right now I'm just grading very specific cards and for very specific reasons, which I will go over in this video. So at $100 a card, I have to be very specific about which cards to grade. I need to not only cover the cost of the card being graded, but the actual cost of me that I put into the card, and it needs to be worth grading that card. You also have to be aware of the shipping costs. So not only are you paying for the card to get graded, but you also have to pay for the card to be sent to PSA, or if a grading company is at like a convention, you don't have to pay those shipping costs, but because I live in California, I'll just be shipping it and the shipping time won't take that long. As I said, I'm only going to be submitting 2 cards. One of them is going to be a hockey card and the other a Japanese Pokemon card. First card is a hockey card. It is a 2020 Upper Deck Young Guns Kirill Kaprizov Kirill the Thrill rookie card. I had originally opened this card. As you've seen in my previous videos, I opened a lot of 2020 Young Guns Upper Deck just because of the availability at the time. At the time, I could find a lot of them on Target just because Target was still having hockey cards available for MSRP prices. So I wasn't paying resale prices in order to rip. And at the time, there was no other sports cards to rip. So my wife and I just ended up opening a lot of Upper Deck Young Guns blaster boxes. And I just happened to open a Kirill Kaprizov. At the time, I didn't know Kirill was a up-and-coming rookie until the playoffs in which the Las Vegas Knights disposed of the Minnesota Wild and Kirill Kaprizov. I know during the time after the playoffs and his elimination, Kirill had rumors of he was going back to Russia, but it looks like as of recently, Kirill has signed a contract with the Minnesota Wilds, so he will be staying in an NHL, which is probably reflected in his PSA prices and his cards in general. So at a PSA 9, Kirill Kaprizov is selling for about $250. Its most recent comps are around the same price, around $250. In a PSA 10, Kirill Kaprizov rookie card goes for about $700. The recent comps, looking at it, looks like it goes for around $650, which is not too much from the asking prices right now. I am about, I would say, $100 into this card, and to get it graded, it's going to be cost another $100 plus shipping. So in overall, it's going to be around $200. I don't ever guarantee PSA 10s. I don't recommend people with those business models to think about PSA 10s. I would say because it was ripped and was brand new and in mint condition, I'm looking for a PSA 9. And if I get a PSA 9, I'm essentially breaking even. I think the gamble is in that if I get a PSA 10, I'll be able to make significantly larger margins. Of course, the risk is that it also doesn't come in as a PSA 9, which would essentially put me at a loss. But I think that's a risk that I'm willing to take at this time. You do have to wait a couple months more for it to get it back. Essentially, it's a free roll, and if it comes a pack PSA 8, then I guess I'll bite the bullet. As for the second card that I'm going to be submitting, I'm going to be submitting a Pokemon Japanese Sabrina's Gengar. This is the banned holo version. Holographic in the back, there is a cemetery, which was banned in Japan. This is a very sought after card just because of its connotation behind it in history. In a PSA 9, the Sabrina's Gengar is going for about $200 on recent comps for like $250, and in a PSA 10, 10, it is going for around $750, and recent comps show about $650. So pretty much the exact same situation as well as the Kirill Kaprizov. Unlike the Kirill Kaprizov, I'm only in this card for $10. At the cost of $10 plus the grading fee, I'm essentially at the cost of $110 to $120 effectively with shipping. If I happen to get the card back in a PSA 9, I'll make a little bit of money, but if I get it back in a PSA 10, then I'll make significantly higher margins. There isn't really much to lose unless I get a PSA 8 or below. The value of the card will significantly drop. Once again, that's a risk I am willing to take. I'm going to be spending $100 on each of these cards to get graded, plus the cost of shipping. I'd expect these cards to be back within the next 3 months, possibly sooner because I live in California. I've been holding these cards for quite a bit now since the prices of PSA's grading has significantly increased. I was supposed to get them in before the price hike and before PSA shut down, but I just didn't have enough cards to send. And with the current state of the PSA market and their grading services and their pricing right now, I thought it was just a good time to try to just send them out. I know I'm only sending 2 cards, and people like to send a lot more to get a lot more back in the time, but I have no problem with sending 1 or 2 cards and in hopes to make a little bit of money and to look forward down the line to see what I get. With that said, I think the risk of these cards getting graded and the cost is very minimal for me. I think very high upside with very low downside, so I definitely think grading these specific 2 cards will probably will hopefully turn out very fruitful for me. I currently don't have any other cards that I am looking to get graded at this time, so I figure I'll just send out these 2 cards even though it's $100 and hope for the best. So if I get a PSA 9, I essentially break even with the Gengar. I'll make a little bit of money, but if I get PSA 10s on either of them, then I'll be sitting pretty happily. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Just wanted to film what I was going to be sending to PSA, and hopefully in 2 to 3 months we'll get the cards back, and then we'll shoot a follow-up video regarding what I get in the reveal. Until next time guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.